Today is the day. October 20th, 10 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 9. Jabba 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 jibber jabba jibber jabba. Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Will Powers. The prosecution is ready, Your Honor, and I'll tell you what, we are more than ready to end these shenanigans. I mean, this has been going on for days now. I'm ready to just say that D. Vasquez did it and give it the fuck up. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Today will be the final day of this trial. I hope both the prosecution and the defense will be able to present decisive evidence. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement. In yesterday's session, the defense presented us with a new theory for this case. He claims that the scene of the crime was, in fact, Studio 2. Today, I will call on people present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. From their testimonies, the truth will become clear. Very well. Edgeworth seems a bit on edge today. You may call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls Miss D. Vasquez to the stand. Miss D. Vasquez is a producer who was present in the Studio 2 trailer that day. That's not going to help your case much. This lady is so suspicious. Will the witness state her name and occupation? D. Vasquez. I'm a producer for Global Studios. On the day of the murder, you were in the trailer in Studio 2? As everyone here knows, yes? I dislike needless banter. If you must, do it when I'm not here. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please give the court your testimony concerning the day of the murder. Look, I know she did it. Make her pay. I love the Steel Samurai, the hero of the frog people. Shut the fuck up, Maya. If she's guilty, I'll catch her with her pants down, so to speak. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. It ended at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. You had Sal take you? Hold the fuck up. That is something I need to press you on when I get a chance. At 2:30, we took a 15-minute break in the meeting. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. We found Hammer's body later, when we all went to Studio 1. That's all. I have a question about one part of your testimony. You were fatigued, so you had Sal take you? Oh, good, he did it. The van. The van is Studio 2. I had him take me in that. I thought it might be risky to walk. What with that monkey's head toppling over? Oh, so they could have gotten in and out, I see. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination. This is the final battle, Nick. Let's do it. Cross-examination? Day of the murder? I entered the trailer. A little before noon. The meeting began at 12 sharp. Ended at 4. It was to be a rehearsal. Afterwards, we went to Studio 1. I was fatigued, so let me see this. Hold on. You had Sal take you. What does that mean? It means what I just said. I had Sal take me in the Studio 2 van. Oh, alright. Alright, now this is the part that's been bugging me. I don't know why it stood out to me, but I believe that I had some contradictory evidence. You see, steak plate found in the employee area. Okay, let me see this. Let's see Mr. Vasquez. Do you have someone who can verify this? Sal? No, I mean someone else. One person is enough. If she committed murder during that break, she wouldn't have time to eat a T-bone steak. I had some evidence that proved she didn't eat that steak. Well, Nick, find anything? I kind of wish she'd said a little more. It's hard. I think she's pretty used to being the big boss. But I'm sure you'll find some kind of contradiction in what she said somewhere. I entered the trailer, a little before noon. Maybe at 12 sharp, then at 4. There was to be a rehearsal afterwards in Studio 1. I was fatigued, so I had Sal take me. 2:30, we took a 15-minute break. And what were you doing? And what were you doing during that time? Don't hit your desk. Your desk didn't do anything wrong. That's just rude. Yeah, Mr. Wright. Oops. I just hit my desk. Huh. It was a 15-minute break. Sal and I ate T-bone steaks on the table in front of the trailer. Alright. Now let me hold up a minute here, lady. See now, if you ate 2 pieces of steak, I am to believe, especially since they keep pointing out the fact that they have T-bone steaks, that you would have a bone on your plate, but I recall seeing an empty plate back at the crime scene. And they kept drawing attention to that. Ha! As I thought. Huh? You claim you ate a T-bone steak. But I say you did not. What's this now, Mr. Wright? Oh, I'm in the industry of proving that people did not eat steak. Look at this. It's a plate. This plate was on the table in the employee area. As you can see, a large bone has been left behind. Mr. Wright, need I remind you, it was a T-bone steak. You know, T-bone, it's got a bone. Exactly my point. Remember, if you will, Miss Vasquez and Mr. Manella ate at a table outside the trailer. God damn. Yeah, there were no bones left on the plate. Damn, I sure am glad they kept pointing that shit out to me like 100 times, or else I should have had that as evidence. That should have been with my evidence. The plates were bare. Ugh. Miss Vasquez? Did the fat ass eat your steak? I think I know how. You didn't eat the steak. You didn't eat any steak during that break. You took your steak and threw it somewhere, like that incinerator. Oh, damn, he good. Why do I have an incinerator right there anyways? I see. Then what was Miss Vasquez doing during the break? Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? Meeting the Steel Samurai. She was meeting with the Steel Samurai. Order in the court. Order! Are you saying... Yes, Your Honor. As Miss Vasquez left the trailer to eat her steak, she ran into the Steel Samurai. And then you did it. You killed him with your own hands. Ew. Mr. Wright, isn't that a little presumptuous? What kind of stunt are you trying to pull, Mr. Wright? Let me claim. You say I did it. Yes. Fascinating. And here I was worrying that today would be as boring as all the rest. Very well. Let us have a battle of wits, you and I. Any day, Vasquez. Good luck, Nick. Let's see. What was that murder weapon again? Oh yes, the samurai spear. Yes? I am, as you can see, a woman of petite stature. How could I possibly use that heavy spear as a weapon? I think you could. It's not impossible. Well, maybe it's not impossible, but... Silence. I'm speaking. Whoa. The victim was stabbed through the chest from the front, yes. I believe this would indicate the victim was aware of the killer's presence. Now the steel samurai costume is quite light and mobile. Compared to the victim, I am weaker and slower. I couldn't possibly win such a fight. Not to mention, there's no proof I did not have the spear. There's proof I did not have the spear. Sorry. The narrator cannot read. The photograph of the steel samurai shows that the victim himself was holding it. But do you mean to suggest that I could have wrestled it away from him? Yeah, take that, right? If you still think she did it, show us proof. Hey Nick, look at the data we have on the samurai spear in the court record. Isn't there something in there that gets to you? Something odd about the samurai spear? Wait! Something the matter, Mr. Wright? Sorry, Your Honor. I'd like to take back my previous claim. Very well, I won't hold you to your claim. But I'm afraid we'll have to penalize you. Oh, man. What's this? You taking back your claim? Let's backtrack for a moment. I want to consider whether the witness could have used the samurai spear or not. However, that has no bearing on this case. Meaning? The samurai spear was not the murder weapon. Oh, what? What is the meaning of this? The spear was found lying next to the victim's body. That's all the proof we need. It definitely means it was the weapon. I have proof, Your Honor. I can prove that the samurai spear was not used as a murder weapon. I assume because it was duct taped together. Probably would have broke, you know? I present my proof, the so-called murder weapon. But that is the murder weapon. Not so fast. Remember that this spear broke during the morning action scene run-through. But someone fixed the spear. It was the security lady. She fixed it with duct tape. Now tell me, how is it possible for someone to stab a man who is wearing a thick costume with this through the chest? Order! Order! Holy shit! We are completely incompetent. Mr. Wright, I know what you're driving at. You know, I really do. And I'm not upset. I'm not mad. I think the forensics team or whoever did the autopsy is completely incompetent. I think we should have known this the whole entire time that the spear was not used as the murder weapon. But you see, my pride will not allow me to just do that. Think about what you are. Silence. I'm the one testifying here, and I will be heard. Ugh. Man, I don't even want to help you. Are you quite sane? Are you even aware of what you're saying? If the samurai spear was not the murder weapon, then pray tell what was. How was Hammer killed? Well, Mr. Wright, can you tell us what weapon? What was the weapon they used? I think I can tell you. Would I make a claim like that if I couldn't tell you what the weapon was? I'm afraid your confidence can sometimes be unfounded, Mr. Wright. Very well, let's see this murder weapon then. You see, if I had to pick, I would say it was that thing again, you know? They impaled themselves. Look at this photo. What is this? Why, that's Jack Hammer, standing at the top of the stairs. Order! Order! If I cannot have order, this trial will be suspended. I demand supreme order in my courtroom. Mr. Wright, what is this all about? This photograph is from 5 years ago. I should have probably mentioned earlier how the defendant tried to have how the witness tried to have the goddamn mafia kill me, but I didn't. There was an unfortunate accident at Global Studios. This is a photo of that very accident. Not a word of this was leaked to the outside. It was a close-kept secret of the studios. What does that have to do with the current case? Mr. Edgeworth? You still can't see it? See the fallen man in this photo? See how the fence post pierced him through the chest? What? Are you saying? Yes. What happened 5 years ago has happened again. Oh. Mr. Wright, continue. It's 2:30 on the day of the murder. Miss D. Vasquez meets Jack Hammer outside Studio 2 trailer. Then she did it. She pushed Mr. Hammer off the stairs onto the fence. Just like Mr. Hammer had himself done 5 years ago. Though whether she did it on purpose or by accident, I cannot say. In other words, the victim, Mr. Hammer, he died in the same way that he caused another man to die. 5 years ago? Precisely. Ironic, isn't it? Well. Ho. Very creative, Mr. Wright. I could use a man like you on my script writing staff. You deny that? What I say is true? Mr. Wright, let's say for the sake of argument the Hammer died in the trailer, as you say. Yet the body was found at Studio 1, was it not? And in the evil magistrate's costume, no less. Are you then claiming that I carried the body to Studio 1 and returned to this trailer all in the space of a 15-minute break? How could I have disposed of the body? The break in the meeting room of the trailer lasted 15 minutes, from 2:30 to 2:45. Could Jack Hammer have been pushed off the stairs to his death, then carried to Studio 1 and placed inside his costume? There wasn't enough time. Indeed. Well, Mr. Wright, how could she have dealt with the body? She had another way. But if she had another way to carry the body, other than with her own hands. For instance? Actually, for that matter, there was no need for her to do the deed in 15 minutes. And there was a way for you to carry that body. Interesting. Let's hear it then. Mr. Wright? Please show us how she carried the body. With the fucking van she told you about a second ago. Miss Vasquez, you carried the body to Studio 1, and you used the studio van to do it. Oh, well, fuck me, I guess. Recall your testimony? There was to be a rehearsal afterwards, so we went to Studio 1. Yeah, I was fatigued, so I had Saul take me. There was a van there, right? I had Saul drive me. You used the van to carry the body to Studio 1. Then before everyone else got there, you put the body in the magistrate costume. Bah! Oh, there's a moth flying around. It's really annoying me now. Hold on, right? Don't forget, it was Salmonella that drove the van. Are you suggesting that Mr. Manella was a conspirator? Of course he was. Of course Salmonella has to have been a conspirator. The body had to be placed in the van and put into the costume. There's no way Miss Vasquez could have done that alone. Also, don't forget that they had to dispose of the steel samurai costume. They had to, because it was covered in Mr. Hammer's blood. They probably burned it in that small incinerator. Well, Miss Vasquez, shall I continue? No need. You're smarter than you look, Mr. Wright. Huh. I lose. You win. It was fun. I win? Well, that went on for 3 fucking days. So, what happens next? Huh? Me? Don't you have anything to say? What would you like me to say? Huh? I lost? Something like that? I just said that. Wait, so you mean D. Vasquez, so it was you. You killed Jack Hammer? Who can say? Are you sure I did? Mr. Wright, we just engaged in a battle of wits, and as a result of that battle, you proved the possibility that I murdered Hammer. Right? But that is only a possibility. Proof is another thing altogether. You lack decisive proof, Mr. Wright. What? The worth of the edge. My man, talk to me. What do you think's going on? Of course it's as the witness says. Certainly it does seem very likely she did it, but, there's no proof. Edgeworth isn't sure. Man, I like this pipe thing. It was really cool in the 80s. In the 70s, I believe. Well, I came here as a witness today. If you have no more questions, I'll be leaving. What do I do now? Miss Vasquez, you did it. That wasn't a question. Did you do it? No. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? I'm not sure that question helped this court get any closer to a verdict. What do I do now? I don't really want to let this testify again, Vasquez. I'd like you to testify again. Testify? Again? Know when to give up, Mr. Wright? Think about it. Even if I were to testify again, what's the point? I can only say what I said before. The truth, Mr. Wright. I've already said all there is to say. What would happen if I said it again? You'd ask the same questions, get the same answers. A waste of time. Like, that's not true because you lied so much the first time. Like, I want you to tell it all together, like one string of, you know, to come so far, only to fail. They can't really, like, as it seems, there are no further questions. I would like to end the cross-examination of the witness, Miss Vasquez. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I was hoping to come up with a question while I was objecting, Your Honor. I didn't. I see. Very well. Your Honor, I requested the witness testify again. You are the prosecutor, are you not? Why are you badgering me? I'm your witness. I just want to hear your testimony again. Does this make any sense to you, Your Honor? I don't see that we have anything to gain by repeating the last several minutes. Mr. Edgeworth, I too see little point in making Miss Vasquez repeat herself. What exactly did you want to hear her testify about? Well, yes, indeed, verily I say, ergo. I want to hear about what happened after they found the body. After they found the body? Very well. The witness will testify to the court concerning this matter. Nick, why did Edgeworth... Who knows? He probably realized she did it too. But, wasn't he the one that said he always gets a guilty verdict? After all that, Edgeworth, what are you doing? I was with Sal and Old Bag, the security lady, when we found the body. The assistant was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, and Powers showed up. The security lady, Old Bag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I see. No issues raised by this testimony. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination. Okay, Nick, we're real close. Real close. She may be acting tough now, but if you put her on the spot, she's sure to falter. Find the key you need and twist the truth out of her, Nick. Right. Cross-examination. I was with Sal and Obag, the security lady, when we found the body. Maybe I'll press you just to do it. What time was that? We were to meet at 5 for the rehearsal, so I'd say it was then. When exactly did you and Mr. Manella arrive at the studio? About 10 minutes before. I wasn't stuffing any bodies in the costumes, mind you. Back off of this one. I'd better leave this one be. I'm sure she'd see through anything I had to throw at her anyways. The sister was there too, only Powers was absent. I immediately called the police, and Powers showed up. Security lady Obag was quite agitated, pointing at Powers saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. Then I went home. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get, yes. The script and your direction notes? Yes, they're quite valuable. It wouldn't do to have them stolen. No, I guess not. Wait a second. I thought you came to Studio One for a rehearsal. Why didn't you bring your script and notes? Well, I was under the impression that we wouldn't be able to rehearse anything. Why? There was a murder after all. Who could think of rehearsing after that? Oh yeah, I guess. Very well, Miss Vasquez. Please continue. Your Honor, I have an objection to the witness' last statement. Huh? Think. Miss Vasquez said she didn't bring the script because there wouldn't be a rehearsal. Don't you see what that means? She would have to know about the murder before going to Studio One. That's what I was thinking myself, to be honest with you. Order! Order! Mr. Edgeworth. What you have just said is a reasonable observation. However, I find it hard to understand why the prosecution would make such a move. Or are you thinking of a career change to defense? I appreciate the concern, Your Honor. I will stand by my statement, however, regardless of how the court sees my role here. Now, Ms. Vasquez, do you have an explanation? I can't believe Edgeworth is helping me. Huh? So the prosecution is in cahoots with the defense? What kind of court is this? No matter. I think you misunderstood me. I had a perfectly good reason to believe there would be no rehearsal. Very well. The witness will change her testimony to reflect this reason. I knew that Hammond was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left him behind. How'd you know that? How'd you know about the injury? How did I know? Sal. He told me. Sal, the director. We'll have to find something to peg this on her here, or everything we've done till now will have been wasted. I believe in you, Nick. Go get him. I was with Sal the whole time back. His sister was there too. Only Powers was absent. I immediately called him. Powers showed up. Mr. Powers was taking a nap, correct? So he says. Did no one go to call him? Remember? Remember what? There was a dead body laying in front of us, yet you expect me to be calm? You certainly seemed calm enough when I accused you of murder. Wait a second. Wouldn't that be the other way around? The other way around? You discovered a murdered body and one person was missing, right? Wouldn't you normally go looking for the missing person? I have to agree with the defense on this one. Well, Miss Vasquez? Logically speaking, perhaps. But no one there was thinking very logically, I assure you. Also, without his steel samurai costume, Powers doesn't really stand out. We often left him on the bus when shooting at location. No one noticed he was missing. Poor Powers. Well, I suppose that would explain that. Very well, Miss Vasquez. You may continue. I immediately called the police, and Powers showed up. Security lady, old windbag, was quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. Old bag, the security lady. Why did the security lady think Powers had done it? She said because she saw him going toward the studio. Right. The Steel Samurai. Did the detective arrest Mr. Powers based solely on the security lady's words? Perhaps not. She seems to have also given the detective that photograph. Of course, I heard all this after the fact. That photograph, meaning the one taken by the security camera. She's not known for exhibiting the best sense of judgment when it comes to Hammer. I don't think there's anything in there I can use. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. Hold on, but I immediately called the police. The Powers showed up. What was everyone else doing at the time? No one said a thing. It was a silent, completely silent. So we stood there until Powers finally arrived on the scene. Sorry I'm late. Then, silence. Dead silence. Silence. Hey Nick. Why is everyone so quiet? Someone should do something to lighten things up. Quite agitated, pointing at Powers, saying he did it. I asked to be left out of the proceedings. I went back to the trailer to get my script and direction notes. I knew that Hammer was injured and couldn't do any action scenes, so I left them behind. Injured and couldn't do any action. You knew that Hammer was injured. Don't you think that's a little funny? I mean, it was the Steel Samurai who was injured. It was Will Powers. What? Mr. Wright? Explain yourself. Yes. Mr. Hammer is dragging his leg in this photo, but that's because he was pretending to be Mr. Powers. And sip. Pretending? One person was injured in the run-through that morning. That person was Mr. Powers, not Mr. Hammer. Now why do you think it was Mr. Hammer who was injured? I already said it was Sal who told me. That's right. He must have gotten it wrong. I think not. Mr. Manila was at the run-through that morning. He would have known it was Mr. Powers who was injured. He saw it happen. Why would he tell you the wrong person? Miss Vasquez? Actually, you didn't hear anything from Mr. Manila. You saw Mr. Hammer limping with your own eyes. Yes, but wasn't it Mr. Powers who was injured? Yes, but remember, Mr. Hammer was dragging his leg too. He was pretending to be Mr. Powers. Ah! And when was he doing this? Well, it would have to have been after he put on the Steel Samurai costume and went to Studio 2, where he was murdered. Exactly. Miss Vasquez, you met him, didn't you? You saw the Steel Samurai limping. And Mr. Hammer was in the Steel Samurai suit. That's why you were confused? That's why you thought it was Mr. Hammer who had been injured that morning? Order. I will have order. God fucking damn it. Witness, can you refute this claim? Yeah, let's see you sneak out of this one, Vasquez. Oh my, I shall puff my cigarette thing. Puff, puff, puff. Puff, puff, puff. Puff, puff, puff. Very well. I have a question for you. Why are the real killers always so persistent? Why in the world would I want Mr. Hammer dead? Yes, he'd fallen on hard times, but he was a star. I had nothing to gain from his death. Nothing. Yes, she would need a motive. Why would she have killed the victim? Is there a reason? If there is a reason, it is unclear to this court. Does the defense have anything to say on the matter? In other words, can you prove she had a motive? Of course I can prove it. Okay? I have proof, and I'll show it to you. I present to the court as evidence to Miss Vasquez's motive in this murder. Damn, I don't think I have the proof. I guess it could have been this, but from what I understand, she wanted to shut down the studio, right? So let's see. This is my proof. This is the photo from before. This photo reveals the motive in this murder. I'm right, aren't I, Miss Vasquez? 5 years ago, Mr. Hammer was at the height of his fame. With D. Vasquez's help, a terrible accident was swept under the carpet. Ladies and gentlemen, the case currently up for trial. It began on that day 5 years ago. Ironically enough, that accident precipitated Mr. Hammer's fall. His fall from stardom. His guilt weighed him down, no doubt. However, you, D. Vasquez, used Mr. Hammer. You made him work for you for petty change. Bringing us to the present day and Mr. Hammer's last role as the evil magistrate. Yes, undoubtedly, it was a constant source of shame for the ex-star. One moment, Mr. Wright. We are talking about motives here, yet you have only talked about Mr. Hammer. It almost seems as if Mr. Hammer who had killed D. Vasquez, not the other way around. What motive would Vasquez have? Yes, that's right. According to what you say, I would have no reason to kill Hammer. He was a good source of income for me. And I never get rid of useful men. It's a policy of mine. Mr. Wright, please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for the murder. I don't know if I have any more evidence. But she did have a motive, right? Like, why wouldn't she want him dead? This is a tricky predicament I have gotten myself into. Okay. Allow me to present to the court evidence proving Miss Vasquez's motive. I don't know, can I show this again? This is my proof, and this tells us why Miss Vasquez wanted to kill Mr. Hammer. I say it all proves that the defense attorney has completely lost his marbles. Mr. Wright, the court requests that you find your marbles immediately, and I'm afraid I have to penalize you for this waste of the court's time. Nick, we're so close. Think this went through, please. Mr. Wright, I'll ask you again. Please explain Miss Vasquez's motive for the murder. You know, I'm just gonna have to hope that Edgeworth helps me out. She had no motive, Your Honor. What's that now? It was Mr. Hammer who was out for blood. All Miss Vasquez did was push him off the stairs in self-defense. What's that now? It's simple. Mr. Hammer was intending to kill Miss Vasquez. What? What? Your Honor, Jack Hammer drugged Mr. Powers with sleeping pills. Jack Hammer snuck into the dressing room and stole the steel samurai costume. Jack Hammer wore the costume to fool the security lady into thinking he was Powers. Then Jack Hammer made his way to the trailer. And for what purpose, you ask? To kill D. Vasquez, who had so cruelly taken advantage of him all those years. Oh! You made me crack my pipe. And so you did it, didn't you? I am guilty. It was me. Someone call an ambulance. There's blood everywhere. We're too late. Miss Vasquez. What happened here? Manuel fell from the trailer stairs. Manuel, Miss Vasquez, please try to remain calm. No, how could this? It was an accident. Mr. Hammer was doing an action scene and... No, Manuel, Don't touch him! Miss Vasquez! No! Please, please don't die. Please. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. I lose again. Mr. Edgeworth? Where's D. Vasquez? In the waiting lobby, Your Honor. As calm and collected as ever. I see. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor? It appears you have brought about yet another miracle. I thank you, Your Honor. I think not, Your Honor. Will Powers was innocent. That he should be found so was only natural, not a miracle. Yes, you are right. Very well. This court finds the defendant, Mr. Will Powers, not guilty. Ooh, party time! Party time! That is all. This court is adjourned. Adjourned? October 20th, 112, District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 3. I don't know what to say. Thank you so much. I'm just glad you're okay. Yes, but it's sad. I know now that Mr. Hammer stole my costume. It's bad enough that he wanted to kill Miss Vasquez, but to think that he tried to frame me for the murder, it makes me sad. Tell me why, Mr. Wright. Huh? Tell me, why did Mr. Hammer want to blame me? You know what, man? I would say I don't know, because I don't show evidence. I guess it doesn't hurt to just throw something. Well, this is what I think. Mr. Hammer wanted to put the blame on you because... he was the hero, so popular. It's because you were the Steel Samurai. Because I was the Steel Samurai. Mr. Hammer was a big star once, but he was reduced to acting in a kid's show, and as a villain to boot. The kids loved the Steel Samurai, so he hated you. I think I understand. He could have just told me. I would have changed places with him anytime. I think you're missing the point. Thank you. I'm just glad it's all over. So am I. So am I. Congratulations, WP! Oh, Thanks to you, I'll be able to don the Steel Samurai outfit once more. I can't wait to get back into that sweaty costume and... Is something wrong? No, of course not. Look, Edgeworth. Ooh. Say something, right? I'm not good at small talk. Huh? What? That was too bad, Edgeworth. You don't waste any time gloating, do you? No, I really want to thank you. Vasquez would have gotten away if you hadn't stepped in. Pleased to meet you. I'm Powers. Edgeworth. I'm a big fan of your work, Mr. Powers. Liar. Right. I must say, I hadn't expected to meet you again after all these years. Meet again? However, in retrospect, it would have been better had we not met. Thanks to you, I am saddled with unnecessary feelings. I do not know what these feelings are. It is quite troubling. Unnecessary feelings? Yes, unease and uncertainty. Aren't those kind of necessary? They only serve to get in my way. You listen to me, Phoenix Wright. Don't ever show your face in front of me again. That's what I came here to tell you. Mr. Wright, was that guy your friend? What? Friends? As if they're rivals, right, Nick? Like Gary and Ash, like Batman and Joker. That's different, but for now we are, I guess. Huh? Why do I get the feeling I'm missing something? Come on, Nick. Tell me, what's the deal with you and Edgeworth? And so the curtain closed on another trial. I caused quite a stir by revealing that accident from 5 years ago. It was the talk of the town. Thankfully, Global Studios rethought its programming change. It went back to making kid shows again. Oh, for fuck's sake. Look! This is it! The new show starts today! You're going to watch it with me, right? I'll fucking no. I didn't think they'd seriously go through with it. You have to buy trading cards too, okay? We have to trade with Cody and that assistant. Fine, fine. I'll do it. Isn't it great that WP gets to play the lead again? I wonder if they'll show his real face this time. I don't know. I don't think the world is ready for the real Will Powers. Ugh. That was a surprisingly easy trial after all the bullshit they put me through. Ha! How unfortunate for Mr. Edgeworth. He said that he would not like to see me again, but it appears we will meet again in the very next trial. Tisk tisk. Shame on you, Mr. Edgeworth.